Here we are in Lake George, watching the Catamounts face what I believe is the Lake George team. And on the mound for the Catamounts is Colin Bissett. The batter, I will tell you his name as soon as I can see the number on his shirt. Oh, this would be Nick. So Nick Taylor, number 8. I'm not sure where Nick will be playing defensively. Lots of excitement on the opposite field. Ooh, nice pitch by Colin Bissett, and Nick swings through that.
Lake George.
This is one of the hosting teams. Lake George actually has 2 in this tournament. That ball is hit on the ground to the first baseman, Derek Allman, who tags it for the first out of the inning. Now batting is Colin McCabe for Lake George. So this is a Colin versus Colin matchup, apparently. Colin Bissett deals that one high for a ball. Ooh, and that's a called strike by the home plate ump. That misses high, so 2 balls and 1 strike, the count to the batter. And that's a called strike by the home plate umpire, so that evens the count to 2-2. Ooh, and that ball is hit high, high, high to center field, and it is gone for a home run. So Colin McCabe got all of that one, and that will put the Lake George team on the board with their first run of the game. Great hit. That carried. There's some pretty high fences here too, so that was a blast. Lots of local teams here. The Catamounts are from Proctor and Pittsford. Rutland Town is here and Fairhaven's here, so later on this afternoon, if the Catamounts win, we'll be playing Rutland Town. Ooh, and that's trouble right there, and it is. That drops in for a base hit. That's Owen. No, I take that back. That's John Conti, or Conti, I'm not sure. I think it's John Conti. So anyhow, 1 out here, 1 runner at first base. Here's the pitch by Colin Bissett. That's in there for a strike. Another called strike by the home plate umpire. And at the plate is Owen Sutter for Lake George. Here's the pitch. Oh, Colin took a little off that, but it missed high for a ball. That one will be hit on the ground, fielded by the pitcher, Colin Bissett, who throws to first to get the second out of the inning. So 2 down here, a runner at second. 1 run. And this lefty batting for Lake George is Dan Pusher. That's fouled out of play. It's a great little ballpark over here, except all three fields have very close backstops, so you really have to be on your toes as a fan. Anything fouled out of play could sneak up on you. No, yeah, there appears to be a ball shortage. There we go. Now Colin's got something to work with out there. So 2 outs here in the top of the first. No balls, 1 strike is the count to Dan Pusher. There's the pitch by Colin. That one's going to be grounded foul down the third baseline. Absolutely a perfect weather day for baseball. Sun shining, but it's not blistering hot like it was last week. Nice breeze. Comes the pitch by Bissett. That one fouled down the third baseline as well. That was a stinger. The batter's shaking his hands. I think that was right off the handle. And that one is going to be hit on the ground to the shortstop, Zach Bates, who throws across to get the third out of the inning. But Lake George on the board in the first inning. They have 1 run, and the Catamounts are up next. Okay, bottom of the first inning. Leading off for the Catamounts is the first baseman, Derek Almond. That pitch misses for a ball. Pitching for Lake George is John Conti. Or Conti. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I'll pronounce it both ways. That way I'm bound to be right. Derek fouls that out of play to even the count to 1-1. John Conti is on the mound. The catcher is Paul Lindsay. Playing first base is Nick Taylor. Second base is Owen Sutter. Third base, TJ Bearer. And Colin McCabe at short. Here's the pitch. And that one is hit to center field. Oh, center fielder makes a nice catch out there to record the first out of the inning. Nice hard hit ball by the leadoff hitter, but went right to the glove of the center fielder. So now batting for the Catamounts is, I believe it's Patrick McKeegan. And that will miss outside for a ball. Playing left field for Lake George is Adam Sankowitz, center Dan Pusher, and right field Cam Collins. That will miss as well. Go straight to the backstop. Two balls and no strikes, the count to Patrick McKeegan. That one was in there for a called strike. Patrick fouls that one off to even the count at 2-2. Patrick lays off that to work the full count. That one missed outside. So Patrick draws a walk, and the Catamounts have their first base runner aboard. Yeah, now batting for the Catamounts is Nate Hudson. Nader. That first pitch is a called strike. That was Logan Trombley. There's the pitch. Oh, that was a changeup, and Nate attempted to bunt that down the third baseline, but it rolls foul. He won't be bunting this time. He's got 1 ball and 2 strikes on him, so he'll be swinging away this time. Oh, and that one is popped up kind of behind the first baseman. Oh, foul ball. That would have been trouble. He didn't really have the range to get back as far as that went, so. Nate will get to do it again. Good effort by the first baseman to try to get back there and squeeze that one, but wasn't able to do it. And Nate Hudson is in protect mode. And that one will be hit hard. It went past the third baseman. That's rolling quite a ways out into left field, and both runners are safely aboard for the Catamounts now. First and second base occupied. Stepping up to the plate is Riley Shannon. Riley has a good bat. He squares up. Takes the first pitch for a strike. And Riley hits a pop fly to left field, and that's going to go over the left fielder's head and roll all the way to the fence. So that will plate at least 1 Catamount run. Oh my, we have a little running error here. So that was ugly, but the Catamounts there was a little miscommunication. So Patrick McKeegan didn't go, and Nate Hudson was cruising into third, and they almost were standing on the base at the same time together. So anyhow, Patrick McKeegan crosses the plate to get the first run. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but Patrick is not. Anyhow, so Josh Beyond now batting for the Catamounts, but that was just a miscommunication with the base runners, that's all. So Riley Shannon safe at first. Nate Hudson at second, Josh Beyond at the plate, and Patrick McKeegan scored. That misses outside for a ball. That ball is hit hard, too hard to handle. Oh, nice job. And a throwing error. But the second baseman couldn't handle that ball. It was hit a little bit too hard, but a nice recovery, and then an unfortunate throwing error. So anyhow, on that play, Nate Hudson scores. Riley Shannon advances to third, and Josh Beyond at first. Still with 1 down here in the bottom of the first. Now batting is Zach Bates. And that will go by the catcher. They're sending the base runner, so Riley Shannon will cross home. Josh Beyond advancing to third base, so the Catamounts taking advantage of some throwing errors by Lake George here in the first inning. So hard at this age with all the adrenaline, stage fright, just so many, and just inexperience and youth in general, but it's easy to get rattled. So the Lake George coach taking a walk out to the mound to talk to his players and regroup. Sometimes they just need to take that breath and get a little perspective. Yeah. So Zach Bates will step up to the plate. Here's the pitch. And that misses high for a ball. Is it 2-0? This umpire was good and loud, so I hope he keeps it up. Makes me sound more intelligent. He said 2 balls. I thought there were 3 pitches, so. Yeah, I think there was 1 pitch thrown before. 3. Okay, it is 3-0. Someone corrected him. So that's a called strike by the home plate umpire. Count 3-1 to Zach Bates. That one is hit sharply. Oh, right over the head of the shortstop out into left field. So nice base hit by Zach Bates. Plates 1 more run for the Catamounts as Josh Beon crosses home plate. And the next batter will be the pitcher, Colin Bissett. That misses for a ball. That's in there. Nice pitch by John. That will miss for a ball. Only 1 out here. And that will also miss, so pitcher struggling a little bit with his location. Oh, and that one misses, so for ball 4. So Colin Bissett draws the walk, and still only 1 out. This Lake George team does look like it has some younger players on it too, so it's always tough to come to these tournaments when some teams are more mature. I believe this is the B team, yes. And Logan Trombley is now the batter for the Catamounts. So this is probably the team representing the future of Lake George. Since they've already hit one over the fence in dead center, there's obviously some talent there. Comes the pitch to Logan Trombley, and that's in there for a called strike. Ooh, and that one is hit foul, sharply, but foul down the first baseline. Who won the foot race? I thought Joe was going to fight you for that. Okay, so that ball gets by the catcher and both base runners advance. So runners on second and third now with 1 out. That ball went out of play, so that will actually plate Zach Bates and Colin Bissett will head to third. That went out of play. It went out of play, so yeah, it must have rolled out of the fence, so. So the runners were advancing on that, and that's a fly ball by Logan Trombley. And again, center fielder makes a nice catch. It will be an RBI for Logan as well because Colin Bissett tagged up on that and he scored from third. So now 2 outs here. And the batter is Del Norwood for the Catamounts. Del lays down a nice bunt and he's cruising. Oh, good wheels, but Del is thrown out at first. Nice play by the third baseman. So we will head to the second inning and the Catamounts are up 6-1. Okay, top of the second inning. And leading off for Lake George is the right fielder, Cam Collins. And that one is hit to the shortstop, Zach Bates, who fields it, makes a nice throw over, and records the first out of the inning. Yeah, to see Cam standing next to Derek at first base, you can tell that this is a young Lake George team, but they're still positive. That whole last inning they had nothing but positive chatter for their pitcher, so that's in there for a called strike. This batter is Adam Sienkiewicz, the left fielder for Lake George. That's how they get better. Come to these tournaments, and sometimes you take your lumps, but makes you better for next year for sure. That missed low for a ball, I believe. That's fouled to the backstop. And though he's not here today, in our last game that when we were in Granville and it poured and we didn't resume the taping, I made a shout out to Marcus. I never should have gone to basketball camp. McCullough, who, nice pitch by Colin, and he records a strikeout for the second out of the inning. But anyway, Marcus is on the Catamounts roster and has come to every single game. This is the first game that Marcus's family isn't at. Not just Marcus, his whole family has continued to come and travel. That's high for a ball, and batting now is TJ Bearer, the third baseman. So anyway, got to give some kudos to Marcus McCullough because he was always the biggest cheerleader in the dugout. Nice play by Zach Bates. Beautiful. So down go the Lake George boys, 1-2-3 that inning, and we will head to the bottom of the second with no change in the score. Okay, bottom of the second inning, and leading off for the Catamounts is Tyler Carrington. That will miss for a ball. Tyler has some good power. He's had some nice hits in this tournament. That one is hit foul down the third baseline, so he'll get another chance. I'm gonna laugh every time Logan probably does that now. Okay, and Tyler reached for that one a little bit, grounded to the shortstop, and just barely thrown out at first, so made a good effort to hustle down that first baseline, but the Catamounts have their first out of the inning, and stepping up to the plate is the first baseman, Derek Almond. Lefty! Lefty alert! The lefty, yeah, exactly. They've never met Derek. He's a lefty, but don't put the shift on. Actually, his last hit went to center field. That's about as far this away that he comes typically, though. The pitch by Conti. 2 balls. No strikes. That's in there for a called strike. Oh, we reached for that, and the third baseman making a good effort to get to that foul ball, but not able to, so. Two strikes on Almond. Yeah, I'm peeking over here to see what's going on. I think Corinth is playing Rutland Town. Looks like Ethan Knott's pitching. I could call both games. I know all those Rutland Town kids. So here comes the pitch to Almond with two strikes on him. He lays off that one. So I think it's a full count now. That was high for a ball.
Yep.
Full count. Okay, so Derek Almond works the full count. Here comes the payoff pitch. And he reaches for that, hits it on the ground to the third baseman, and he is called out at first. So again, good hustle down the baseline, but second out for the Catamounts. And now batting is Patrick McKeegan. We're back to, Derek was the top of the order, so. And Patrick looks okay. I wasn't sure if Patrick or Nate Hudson, one of them, it was Nate, okay. That might have strained his knee a little bit. Patrick swings through that first pitch. So this will be a good confidence boosting inning for Lake George to make some nice little plays in the field. That one bounces to the backstop. Every pitcher needs one of those innings. Ooh, and that is a nice hit. That's not going to be caught by the center fielder, but Patrick McKeegan hits a nice base hit into center. So the Catamounts have their first base runner aboard. And Nate looks fine as well, so good news there. Nate Hudson, the next batter. Nate gets underneath that, pops it up. It looks like the catcher's got to play. Oh, and he misses it. So that was a fair ball, and both base runners are safe. So bad luck for the Lake George catcher. I thought for sure he had that. So 2 outs, runners at first and second now. Riley Shannon, the batter. That will miss high for a ball. Nice. Oh, hard hit ball by Riley Shannon. Beautiful play by the shortstop, who tosses it to second to end the bottom of the second. Sorry, okay. And the Catamounts still up 6-1. Yes. Nice first pitch by Colin Bissett. Swung through for strike one. That's foul tip to the backstop, so 0-2. Somehow that ball wound up in center field, but no one was looking. Trying to figure out who the batter is for Lake George. I need to see the number on his back, though. Oh, and that batter, whoever he was, went down looking. I think it was number 3, actually. I think that was Matt Smith, number 3. And this is number 6, so this is Paul Lindsay, the catcher. Yes, that was Matt Smith that went down looking. So, and that's in there for a called first strike. Colin Bissett doing a great job on the mound. And that ball is going to be hit foul down the third baseline. is the catcher for Lake George. A lefty catcher, you don't see that every day. And he swings through that for another strikeout. So Colin Bissett having a great inning out here on the mound for the Catamounts. The next batter is Nick Taylor, so we're back to the top of the order for Lake George. And that one will be hit back to Colin Bissett, who, oh, no play there. Colin actually probably would have been better off, not that he knew that, letting it go through and letting his second baseman take that. But he did knock it down, and Patrick McKeegan had no play, so this is the home run kid. This is Colin McCabe, who hit one over the fence in dead center the first at bat. So nice strike by Colin Bissett. 2 outs here in the inning, 1 runner on, and a big stick at the plate. That will miss high for a ball. Not sure I'd give him a big meatball right down the middle after what he did with the last one. So yeah, you pitch around him a little bit. That one's fouled down the first baseline out of play. Oh, nice catch in foul territory by, who's number 9? I'll give him a shout out, Adam Sienkiewicz. Looks like he might be warming up to come in as the next Lake George pitcher. Here's the pitch by Colin Bissett. And Colin has a fabulous inning with 3 strikeouts that inning. So we will head to the bottom half of the third. Catamounts 6, Lake George 1. Okay, bottom of the third inning. Leading off for the Catamounts is Josh Beyond, the third baseman. And there's been a pitching change for Lake George. So the new pitcher is Adam Sienkiewicz on the mound. The count 1-1 to Josh Beyond. That one is hit hard on the ground and through, so Josh is safely aboard. I don't think the second baseman even had a chance of getting a glove on the second or first baseman. It was kind of right between the two. And now batting for the Catamounts is Zach Bates. That will miss high for a ball. Ooh, that one will go by the catcher to the backstop, and Josh Beyond will advance to second on that throwing error. Well, pass ball, not really a throwing error. And that one's fouled out of play, and that will land on the other field. Like I said, these fields are really nice, but they are awfully close together. That actually almost that almost hit the third baseman for Corinth on the other field. Oop. That misses for a ball. Looks like Fairhaven runners running around over on the far field. Oh, nice hit by Bates. That's going to drop in, I think. Oh, yes, and the right fielder made a good attempt at it, but it went off the heel of his glove, so Zach Bates is safe. Well, looks like he's going to be safe at third. Josh Beyond crosses home plate, so that's another run on the board for the Catamounts. Nice hit by Zach. That was the right fielder was having a hard time getting to that in time. Colin Bissett batting for the Catamounts. Yes, and Colin hits that to the third baseman, who makes a nice play, throws across, and Zach Bates is headed home. He will cross the plate safely, so that's another Catamount run. So Colin gets himself an RBI for his efforts. Would you call that an RBI? I would think you would, maybe. I don't know. I had to think about it after I said it. Is Logan Trombley is going to hit one over the head of the first baseman. Drops him for a nice base hit. So Logan safely aboard with no outs. Bottom of the third inning. The next batter is Del Norwood. And they're sending the base runner, so Logan Trombley is going to be tagged out going into second. That's the first out of the inning. So Del Norwood took a strike for that call, and Del's going to drop one in for a nice base hit to left field. He's safely aboard at first. Next batter is Tyler Carrington. So Tyler Carrington takes a pitch. That was strange. Del kind of broke after that ball got to the catcher, so I'm not sure if he was just playing or got a late jump. Comes the pitch by Senkowitz, and that will be in the dirt. Go all the way to the backstop, so Del Norwood will get second on that pass ball. Big swing by Tyler Carrington, but he swings through it, and Del Norwood takes third. Catcher's struggling a little bit behind the plate. Shouldn't say that. I think those balls are bouncing in the dirt ahead of him, so he's doing the best he can back there. That misses for a ball. Love this umpire. Nice and loud. 3 balls and 1 strike, the count to Tyler Carrington. And Tyler will draw the walk, so runners on the corners for the Catamounts with 1 out. And Derek Almond will be the batter. We're back to the top of the order again. Tyler Carrington taking second with no throw. That misses outside, so 2 balls and no strikes. That's in there for a called strike. That was a high pitch, but Derek hit that to left. Left fielder squeezes it for the, I guess the third out of the inning. So, sorry, I'm not sure where the first out was. I know Logan Trombley got tagged out at second. But anyhow, we head to the top of the fourth, and the Catamounts are up 8-1. Okay, this is the top of the fourth. Lake George batter swung through that first pitch by Colin Bissett. That one is hit on the ground. Oh, under the glove of the first baseman, Derek Almond. That was Derek's getting a reminder of the basics from Coach Andy Bissett. That went under the glove. And that's John Conti, safe at first base. That one gets by the catcher, Riley Shannon, goes to the backstop, so Conti now safe at second. Owen Sutter is the batter, the second baseman for Lake George. That one is hit on the ground to Josh Beyond. Josh looks the runner back, throws over to first base, and ooh, nice backup by Zach Bates. because that would have been airmailed to the fence had he not been there. So Derek Allman tried to throw across and get Conti at third, but good backup. So I'm not sure if he got injured sliding in. He's holding his hand, the base runner. But anyhow, one out, and the batter is Dan Pusher, the center fielder for Lake George. Our nice base hit by the center fielder into center field. So Nate Hudson plays that on the hop, throws into second, but Lake George does plate another run. This is Cam Collins, the right fielder. That misses high for a ball. Oh, nice pitch by Colin. He got a little help from the batter on that one. He did swing at a high pitch. Oh, and that batter goes down looking. Cam Collins. Next batter is Adam Sienkiewicz, who's now the pitcher for Lake George. That's 2 outs. Runner at first. 1 run has scored. Riley Shannon knocks that down, but doesn't have an attempt. Base runner, who's safely in at second. And that is knocked down by the first baseman, Derek Allman, but unable to make the play. So runners on the corners for Lake George. 2 outs. And the batter is TJ Bearer, the third baseman. Here's the pitch by Bissett. That misses outside. That misses for a ball. So is that 3 balls and no strikes? I believe so. Called strike by the home plate umpire. So 3-1. 2 outs. Top of the 4th. Ooh, late swing by the batter, so full count. Oh, and that missed outside, so number 2, TJ Bearer drew the walk. Bases are loaded, 2 down. The next batter is Matt Smith. Here's the pitch by Colin. That misses for a ball. Batter swung through that pitch to even the count. Oh, high cheese, and he swung at it. Yeesh. But again, just the stature of this batter, you know he is young. He's probably a very mature 10 or 11-year-old. No, he's probably 11. So anyway, Colin Bissett records a strikeout to end the inning. Lake George does played another run though, so it's 8-2 as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Okay, bottom of the fourth inning, leading off for the Catamounts is Patrick McKeegan. Patrick swings through that first pitch for strike one. Adam Senkowitz still on the mound for Lake George. Ooh, Patrick quickly in the hole. 2 strikes on him as he watched that second strike. And that one hits foul down the third baseline. That misses outside for a ball. Oh, and that misses for a ball. So the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That misses high for a ball. So Patrick's worked himself a full count. Oh, and Patrick will draw the walk. So first Catamount base runner safely aboard. Next batter is Nate Hudson. Nate's playing center field today. Strike one as he fouls that pitch off. Nice hard hit ball right up the middle by Nate Hudson. Patrick McKeegan has good wheels and they're sending him, so he's going to be safe at third, Nate safe at first. So beautiful base hit by Nate Hudson. Next Catamount batter will be the catcher, Riley Shannon. Senkowitz throws a nice first pitch strike in there. Nate Hudson takes second base with no throw. That misses low for a ball. Well, that one goes back to all the way to the screen, but Patrick McKeegan not headed for home on that. Same thing, that one's all the way to the backstop. It is funny with all the rules and regulations for baseball fields. The one thing that there clearly is not a regulation for is the distance between the backstop and home plate, and this is probably a conservative distance. Not too many players are going to try to take home on a pass ball. So Riley Shannon draws the walk. The Catamounts have the bases loaded with no outs. And Josh Beon stepping up to the plate. And Josh hit a grand slam Monday night. Seems so far ago, so long ago. The first night of the tournament. Hit a beautiful bomb to dead center field. So Adam Senkowitz Had a little pep talk from his coach, a little bit of support from the fans, trying to keep his chin up. And Josh Beyond steps to the plate. Beautiful pitch by Sienkiewicz, so the pep talk helped. He was bouncing a few of them in front of his catcher, which makes a long day for your catcher and for you. So the count 1-1 to Josh Beyond. No outs, bases loaded. Bottom of the fourth. That is popped up out of play. That's going to get the roof of the concession stand. No outs. So Lake George will try to cut this run off at the plate if they can. The count even at 2-2. That misses. Full count to Josh Beyond. Oh! And Josh gets caught looking, so he did not think that was strike three, I don't think, but so one out. Now batting is the shortstop, Zach Bates. And that one is headed right for us. I got it. I do. I did stop it, but long strike one for Zach Bates. Second pitch, I believe, was a ball, so 1-1 the count to Zach Bates. That one is hit on the ground to the shortstop, and everybody will be safe, so Zach Bates has an RBI. Patrick McKeegan will cross the plate for the Catamounts. Oh, Zach would probably like that pitch back again, but I think it's hard not to get excited too when you see the bases loaded. And oh, nice hard hit ball by Colin Bissett. That's headed out to center field, so that's going to plate, I think, 2 runs. And Zach Bates is over on third now. Nice base hit by Colin. Okay, so a pitching change for Lake George. Colin McCabe, who was at short, is now on the mound. And Colin Bissett will take second with no throw. Logan Trombley is the batter. I think so, yeah. McCabe seems to be pretty confident up there. And again, he was also the young man that crushed a ball over the fence in the first inning. So I'm thinking he's one of the older players on this team. And they are sending Zach Bates on this, and he's going to be tagged out at home. Again, that backstop's not too far away, so depending on the ricochet, or it's definitely a chance. So 1 down. Colin Bissett, the runner at third. Ooh, Logan Trombley swings at some high fromage there. Hard not to, I guess, when it's coming in right at your eyeballs. And big spicy meatball, you want to just crush it. Oh, that was so nonchalant. Nice line drive by Logan. Again, I missed an out. I don't know who the other out was, but nice line drive, and the first baseman just reached out and nonchalantly grabbed it. So the Catamounts plated a few more runs. So it is now 11-2, headed to the 5th inning. Okay, top of the 5th inning, leading off for Lake George will be the catcher, Paul Lindsay. Colin Bissett still on the mound for the Cats. Nice first pitch strike by Colin Bissett. That ball even the count to 1-1. Nice strike. Colin Bissett ahead. That's hit on the ground to the third baseman, Josh Beon, who throws across to get the first out of the inning. Nice play by Josh. Nice stretch by the first baseman. Okay, we're running out of battery, so we're going to take a moment to change that, and we'll be back in a sec. Okay, so quick battery change, and didn't miss much. This is Nick Taylor, who hits a ground ball to Zach Bates at short, who throws across for the second out of the inning. And the next batter is Colin McCabe, who's now on the mound for Lake George. Nice pitch by Colin Bissett. Gotta say too, Colin Bissett's mom, Lisa, biggest cheerleader by far, loudest for sure with those Greeno jeans, and she is actually missing this game, and her son is pitching a great game. That's a nice base hit by McCabe, and again he hit it over the fence in center field the first inning, so nice base hit to center to have the first Lake George base runner of the inning. There are 2 down here, I believe. There's the pitch. And that's John Conti, who started the game as the pitcher, and he swings through that for strike 1. That misses for a ball. So at least Lisa will be able to watch Colin on PEGTV. She's in Cape Cod at a field hockey tournament, so. 2-1 the count to John Conti. And that is lined foul down the first baseline. I thought that was fair, but I guess it did. Yeah, the lines there, the lines sort of stop right at first base, so it's hard to tell where the outfield lines are. But anyhow, nice line drive. That was just a long strike. That is popped up. Derek Allman, the first baseman, makes an attempt and squeezes that to end the inning. So no damage done, and we continue to the bottom half of the 5th with the Catamounts still up 11-2. Okay, bottom of 5, leading off for the Catamounts is Del Norwood. McCabe still on the mound for Lake George. And that one is hit right back to McCabe, who makes a nice throw across to his first baseman to get the first out of the inning. The next Catamount batter will be Tyler Carrington.
Got a nice view, Dad.
First pitch called strike. Oh, the Fairhaven game is over already. I gotta believe that was 4 innings. Nice hard hit ball through to left field, so Tyler Carrington safely aboard. First Catamount base runner of the inning. Oh, and Tyler's gonna take second base on that that miscue. That was a good idea to go, and that throw wasn't there, so next batter will be the first baseman, Derek Almond. And that one is hit up the middle to the center fielder, so another base hit. So Catamounts on the corners, and Patrick McKeegan stepping up to the plate. So 1 out, 2 on. Derek Almond will take second with no throw. That one was inside, not close enough to get Patrick, but pretty darn close. So, brushing him off the plate. Patrick was in Maine for the first part of this tournament, and his teammates are very happy to have him back. He's always a little bit of a spark for his team. He's got speed. He's always upbeat and positive. So Patrick's got 2 strikes on him. I'll stop saying nice things about him. No, just kidding. Here's the pitch. And that will go over the head of Patrick. So he draws the walk to load the bases for the Catamounts with 1 out. And the next Catamount batter will be Nate Hudson. Nader. Speaking of spark plugs. It is tough with these summer baseball tournaments. Lots of families taking vacations, but everybody works really hard to make sure that we can make these tournaments. So devoted kids and devoted families make it happen. That is fouled out of play. One and 2 the count to Nate Hudson. That's hit hard to the third baseman, who's going to throw home and cut that run off. I guess so. So the catcher never tagged, but Tyler never touched home either. I am confused. Did Tyler ever step on home plate? I don't think he did. I think he stopped because he was, I mean, he knew he was a dead duck, and I don't know what just happened there. But anyway, Derek Almond, it appears, is out, and I think Tyler Carrington's run counted. So it's now 12-2 Catamounts. 2 outs. So Derek was out and Del Norwood was thrown out to start the inning. Oh, big bomb by Riley Shannon, and that is just to the fence. I thought it might be over. And Riley has himself 2 RBIs and a beautiful stand-up double. So, and that is game, set, and match. That's the mercy rule in effect here. So the Catamounts win this one. The final score was Catamounts 14 and Lake George 2.